Welcome from the bowels of a secret headquarters in Redemption HQ. We are back with our latest episode. We are doing Charming Heroes out of the main core rulebook. Tonight with me is Brobarian and Robert D. And we apologize for the time in between shows, but life happens and schedules have conflicts, but we're back. What I would like to say is Charming Heroes core rulebook tonight. Next episode, Charming Heroes The Vault. Then we are going to spend the show covering all their tricks. We don't want to bog down the show with the tricks tonight or next time, but the tricks will have its own episode so we can talk about them explicitly. And then we've decided that we are going to a season format. So after we finish up the tricks for the Charming Heroes, that will be the end of season 1. And then we'll be back in a little while for season 2. We just need a little bit of time to figure out layout and what we're going to do for the season 2 shows. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Robert D. for Charming Heroes.
Bonsoir, mes amis. We are charming today, eh? Sorry, I couldn't resist. But that's kind of the point of Charming Heroes, isn't it? Irresistible, folks. The Charming Hero is based off of the Charisma ability score. And as the core book says, when you smile, the whole world smiles with you. And Charisma is not just about looks, although that could be how you interpret it. It's personality, magnetism, force of personality, the ability to connect with others and get them to listen. And the Charming Hero generally focuses on helping allies and hindering enemies in combat rather than being the big power damage tank person. Although, as we're going to see, there are Charming Hero classes that can really pack a wallop. So, looking at the Charming Hero archetype, we start with the hit die. This is a 1d8 hit die per hero level. This is on par with several other of the hero archetypes. In particular, if memory serves, not that one. Actually, I think this was the only archetype with a 1d8. No. Agile Hero has 1d8. That's right. So on par with the Agile Hero in terms of hit points, you start with 8 hit points plus your Constitution modifier, and your defense is called Not in the Face, which I love. And that's a 10 plus your Charisma or Dexterity modifier, plus the Charming Hero defense bonus, which starts at +1 at first level, amps up to +2 at 5th level, and caps out at +3 at 9th level. So, first level, we have our starting talents. First up is Influence. Like all of the non-physical attribute hero archetypes we've talked about, whether it's smart or wise, the Charming Hero has a fuel. Wise heroes get their focus, smart heroes get their genius, Charming heroes get influence. That is to say, influence dice. You start out with 2 of these at first level, and these dice are d6s. You can expend them. You expend them when you roll them, and regain all expended influence dice when you finish either a short or long rest, much like the Wise Hero's focus. As you gain levels, you get additional influence die, and those die get bigger in die size. You get your 3rd influence die at 2nd level, your 4th one at 4th level, your 5th one at 6th level, your 6th one at 8th level, and your 7th final influence die at 10th level. All your influence die become d8s at 5th level, and become a whopping d10 at 9th level. Now, the second thing you get at first level is heavily class dependent, the subclass you choose with Charming Hero. And these are your tricks. As Spectral mentioned, we will not be diving into the specific tricks of each class in this episode, but the tricks are a major part of what makes a Charming Hero effective. You learn 2 tricks from your class's list of tricks, and you learn additional tricks as you gain level. You start with 2, you gain your 3rd at 3rd level, your 4th at 6th level, and your 5th at 9th level. Every single Charming Hero class has 6 tricks to choose from. So there's always going to be at least a 6 or six tricks to choose from. So there's always going to be a little bit of which one should I choose? Which one should I choose? Now, whenever you gain a level in Charming Hero, you can replace one trick you know with another one from the class list. So you never are completely hemmed into what you choose. There is a little bit of customization involved, whether there's a lot of customization, but you can try different things out as you change levels, as you change campaigns. Now, there is a little caveat. You can only use one trick on a single attack, saving throw, or ability check. You can't double up the tricks or use 3 tricks at once for one roll. Now, the effect of each trick, as well as what action you need to use to enact this, depends on the individual tricks, and again, we'll go over those at a later time. Saving throws, should a trick require one, are equal to the saving throw difficulty class for the poor souls that have to make these checks against your Charming Hero is 8 plus your Charisma modifier plus your proficiency bonus, which mechanically is perfect. The Charisma stat is the baseline that you need for your defense. It's the baseline you need for how difficult your tricks are to get past. It really is a good mechanical marriage here. Now, at level 2, you get a talent called Charm. Whenever you make a Charisma check of any kind, after rolling but before determining if the result fails or not, you can spend one of your influence die and roll it, add it to the result. Second level on, you are adding an extra bonus die to every single persuasion or intimidation or deception check you want to make, if you want to spend the influence die to do that. And then as you go up in level, much like with the Smart Hero, there's as you go up in level, as I said, you gain additional tricks, your influence die increases, and the number of influence die increases. So that is going to be your basic baseline of the Charming Hero archetype. And without further ado, let us turn it over to Brobarian to talk about the first of these classes for the Charming Hero. En garde, monsieur.
All right. Yeah, welcome back to the show, everybody. And we are going to color in the rest of the charming characters with Duelist. This is your first. This is your first of the subclasses. So the Duelist is described as the fighters that prefer style over brutality, and because any fool can swing a stick around like a caveman, but true combat prowess unites the body, mind, and soul to a singular purpose. And the Duelist is they're a melee specialist who masters a mixture of offense and defensive combat tricks, and that allows them to react to the situation at hand. And a Duelist who wants to focus on combat performance should definitely have a strong dexterity score. Their proficiencies are dexterity and charisma. Their skills are, you can pick from any 2 of acrobatics, athletics, deception, endurance, intimidation, and performance. Their equipment is basic equipment and historical equipment, and they would recommend a Duelist pack and a weapon of a rapier. This is also a great subclass to mix in if you are playing the Highlander campaign. It fits in right along with the rest of them.
Yes. There can be only one.
So their talent lists, they get precision at level 1, en garde at level 3, they get advanced combat training at level 5, fancy footwork at level 7, and panache at level 9. The precision, while wielding a finesse weapon, you can roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining the damage for a melee attack. This does not apply to your attacks you make as a bonus action. In addition, while wielding a weapon that is with the finesse property, your defense bonus is increased by 1.
That is a beautiful front loading of combat ability for that class.
Absolutely. That gives you such more staying power. And en garde, you can add your charisma modifier to your initiative roll. That's another good way to stack the deck, man. Advanced combat training. Once during your turn, when you take the attack action, you can make 2 attacks as part of that action. Fancy footwork. Opportunity attacks made against you now have disadvantage. And panache, whenever you add influence dice to an attack's damage or to reduce damage dealt to you, double the result of the influence die rolled.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
That
Oh
is
my!
very Three Musketeers. I am loving that.
Oh, imagine landing a 10 on a 10, and then you get to negate 20.
Extra 20 damage dealt or reduced. Love that.
I might make a Charming Hero as my third character. So we all know I have my primary character, and then I made a secondary character when I started running events at Origins this year.
Mhm.
And tomorrow, I'm adding a second store to my Ego lineup.
Ooh.
Starting tomorrow, and I have 5 people that I know of so far. And I'm going to need a third character to put the experience to, because I'm running a character creation for 2 hours and I'm running plot 1. So
Sweet.
I might have to make a Charming Hero. I mean, the
Ooh.
duelist sounds pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It is pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
I mean,
And
we still have a few more to go through, but this might be my next one.
Especially since when you think about some of the more physical attribute archetypes we've talked about,
Mhm.
the strong hero classes or tough hero classes that tend to get an additional damage die, they don't tend to get that until their capstone. These guys get an extra damage die at first level if they're using a finesse weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing to sneeze at. They can hit hard.
I'd be interested to see how they would stack up with the rest of the fighting classes that were introduced in the Highlander campaign or inside the vault.
Mhm.
I'd love
Yeah,
to
'cause
see how that.
I think they would be fantastic with that. 'Cause I remember I did before we got that whole book. I remember working on a Duncan MacLeod homebrew, just using the base classes I had to see if I could make a Duncan MacLeod, and definitely experiment with some duelists. And I think that they made Sean Connery's character. They did a write-up for his character in the Highlander cinematic adventure, and they definitely used duelist for his character class. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I ran Twin Fates last weekend, and duelist would be a decent class to have in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys would know way better than I would. I have yet to experiment with that or have anybody play as that in a
So
campaign of mine.
I don't know if I DM Dave or I put it on the Discord. I think I did it in Ask CEO if he is going to get the Ego Adventures on the Foundry, and
Ooh.
he's considering it.
Mhm.
As far as I can tell, I would like to run this stuff online. I don't know how to use Foundry. Fantasy Grounds is still my choice of virtual tabletops. But I don't know what it would cost for them to have to put it into Fantasy Grounds if they can get someone willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a community version, but I would like a fully professionally done one for Fantasy Grounds. I will pay for it. I don't care. I would like and get the adventures in there. I would like to run it online. So even
It's
if it's Foundry, my one buddy said he'd be willing to run it, in person or online, but I need to learn Foundry before I can teach him. And he's a little bit anachronistic, so.
Yeah, Foundry is a very good VTT system. I myself have never actively run it, but I was doing some I was doing a little bit of experimenting with the new Stormlight RPG that just came out,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the folks I know uses Foundry, so he was using that with some of the official artwork that had come out, and he had put money in for the Kickstarter for the Foundry official stuff for the Stormlight RPG, and it is a beautiful looking virtual tabletop system. Let me tell you.
Well,
Uh,
one of the good things I like about it, I have played in it a couple times, a couple years ago, but you can run it on you can run it on your computer at home, and no one else needs it because it's all done through a web browser.
aye.
You have to have a little bit of technical knowledge to get it up and running, not a lot. Need to be able to, open ports in your firewall, not extremely hard stuff to do. But yeah, all the players just connect to, connect to the browser and it's there. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah,
Where
really
other
easy to log in.
VTTs, require download. Fantasy Grounds, there's a demo version. Before they used to have a ultimate license and then a player license, which was like half the price or a little bit less than that. The licensing means that you can have your own books on there. Like you can buy them or not just have to connect. The demo, you can't own any products. Now they got rid of the player license and it's just a straight $50, and it's what would be their ultimate license.
Ooh.
So, and they usually go on sale a few times a year for half off at like $25, and it's not bad considering.
Fascinating.
Foundry's $50. I don't know what Roll20 is because I hate that VTT. But $50, and I paid a lot more for my original Fantasy Grounds Classic Ultimate license, and I got it on sale with an upgrade for like $70-some. So, I paid for it when it was expensive. Now it's $50. That's not too bad.
That's
and
a pretty iconic deal.
25. So, Dave, when you listen to this, look into Fantasy Grounds. It would help me out a lot, and then I can grow ego more online. Anyway, that's my pandering. What were we up to now before we went off topic?
I think Brobarian was just about to lay into the truly iconic Charming Hero class.
Well, that would make sense because Brobarian is an icon himself.
That's right. I have good genes, all right?
Rock on!
Rock and roll clown. Well, I won't do that.
You guys are awesome. Oh, okay.
That's only because I'm insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
Word.
You are certainly too cool for school and a legend among those who know you. That's for sure.
Why, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad someone recognizes that.
Word.
Spectral, you add something very special to everything you do, and you make sure everyone around you knows it. And that's very sure. That's very, very true.
I can't help it. I am who I am.
Did I ever tell you? You sure were born to be a hero?
You have.
Okay, perfect. So,
awesome.
The icon offers a mixture of offense, defense, and social skills. Their abilities are unique, fun, and versatile. But if you're looking for a powerhouse in combat, this really isn't a class for you. But if you want to be wonderfully ridiculous, you have come to the right place.
I love that.
So their proficiencies are dexterity and charisma, yet again. You can choose 3 different skills: acrobatics, athletics, arts and crafts, deception, intimidation, performance, persuasion, and streetwise. Their equipment is advanced equipment and basic equipment. The celebrity expertise, you can choose from arts and crafts, performance, or persuasion, and you must be proficient in a skill to gain expertise in that skill. They recommend the entertainer pack. They also recommend for the weapons a pump action shotgun or a hand cannon.
Love it.
Let's see here. So they have for their what they gain over the time is at level 1 they have banter and center of intention. At level 3 they have flinch. At level 5 advanced combat training. At level 7 not my style, and at level 9 star of the show. And so starting off here at banter, it says, as a bonus action, you can give your allies an opening by drawing the attention of the opponent you are aware of, who can hear you within 60 feet. The next attack one of your allies makes against that target before the start of your next turn now has an advantage. Center of attention. Whenever you desire, you can make yourself the center of attention. Duh.
Love that.
As long as you continue to speak, perform, or otherwise attract the attention, enemies and bystanders that can see or hear you have disadvantage on wisdom, the perception check, and made against anyone or anything other than you.
So cool.
At level 3, you got flinch, and as a reaction, when an opponent within 5 feet that can see you targets you with an attack, you can cause that attack to have a disadvantage. They cannot change targets in response to you doing this. And at the advanced combat training, once during your turn, when you take the an attack action, you can make 2 attacks as part of that action, which is really awesome.
Here.
Especially for a non-combat class. That's a really great thing to do. And not my style. Whenever you roll a 1 on an influence die or a damage die, you can now re-roll that dice once, but you have to take the new result. So
That is nice.
It is. Chances
can
are it'll be better
only-
than the 1 too.
yeah, and you can only go up from there, right?
I tell you.
And finally, star of the show. When you make an attack, you can choose to automatically hit.
Whoa!
And that hit is a critical hit. And you cannot do this again until you finish a short or long rest.
Really, on a short rest.
That's
A
wow.
short rest. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a game changer.
Yeah, these class talents for the Icon and the Duelist, they're good, solid features,
Yeah.
and with the exception of that level 9 star of the show, there's no recharge. They're just constantly active or available to you each turn. That's awesome.
So I will run Everyday Heroes for my home group every once in a while, as if my one buddy who's running the campaign we're playing, the Dark Ages Hunter I mentioned, needs a break.
Nice.
So, I'll bring out the Everyday Hero stuff, and I had them make characters, and I've run a few adventures. I think 3. I think we've done 3 so far. And he made an icon named Dylan the Lion, who is a child actor. Think like Corey Haim, who thinks he's still relevant, but really isn't. No offense, Corey, if you hear this. But, so the character...
You just slammed the Haim.
I know.
But Corey Haim's pretty popular among worms. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Is it Haim that's passed away? I thought Feldman passed away.
Yeah, Feldman's the one that's still alive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Corey Feldman.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, Haim's very, very popular among the bugs and the earth, but...
Right. So he plays this character kind of like a la Zoolander, who is like oblivious to what's to like everything. Except that, he was a child actor who thinks he's still relevant today, but he's not really. No one recognizes him or anything else like that, but he plays this icon. So I wanted to mention that because it's pretty fun how he plays them. And I mean, it's a pretty fun class if you want to, do a la Zoolander or, something like that. You could be a true icon. Or you could be a foible of an icon. Where you're an icon only in your own mind. But I just want to interject that.
Well, you know who is a real icon?
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts.
We had to say it. We had to say it.
I'm thinking like maybe I'll make an icon character and name him Jarek Boberts. I don't know.
Legally distinct.
Yes. Or I don't know how I could change Eric, but like something something Bob's.
You could always go the Scooby Doo route and go Rerick.
Yeah. Rerick Robs. There we go.
But just like Eric Roberts, in every project he's in, he always seems to take the lead in everything he does, especially in the scenes.
Even when he is the lead.
Even when he is the lead.
You are the lead.
And speaking of lead, we have next class up is the leader.
Ah, delightful segue. Thank you. All right. The leader. Now, while your duelist is your combat-focused charming hero and your icon has that nice blend of chicanery, combat, and support, the leader is a squarely support your allies in combat style of gameplay. Their best attack is their strongest allies' attack. And their skill selection lets them really be the face of the team. So, as far as proficiencies go, they get the Constitution and Charisma saving throws, and 3 from the following skills: Deception, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Perception, Performance, Persuasion, and Social Sciences. For equipment, they're proficient with both basic and advanced equipment, and they get a leadership expertise. So they're among the classes that get a little extra on the skills and a free expertise from the ground up. Now, they have to choose between either intimidation or persuasion, but as always, they must be proficient in a skill in order to take expertise with it. So it would really be to your benefit when you make this a character in this class, choose intimidation or persuasion, or see if you can get that from your background or profession before you start picking expertise.
Yeah.
Now, as far as equipment recommendations, the recommended equipment pack is the Executive Pack, and your weapon, the Tactical Rifle. Now, talent at first level is Command, followed at third level by Encouraging Banter. 5th level gets Improved Command, 7th level gives you Rousing Speech, and 9 gives you Aura of Leadership. So, Command. At first level, as an action, you can command one of your allies. The ally can then spend their reaction to make one attack or move up to their speed. Literally, even if the person's already had a turn, you can say, all right, you missed that time. Shoot him again. And I actually got a chance to play this character class, and we were on a sort of a Stargate style mission, and the other 4 players were all different styles of combat. And first combat, first guy shoots, misses. My leader goes, I use my command action. Shoot him again, Corporal. Look for the whites of his eyes. And it worked. The guy was able to use his reaction, made another attack. Now, it meant he couldn't use his reaction for a few other things, but he hit. He got a second chance at making that attack, and that made the difference in that combat encounter, at least for that particular adversary. Now, encouraging banter. At third level, you can encourage camaraderie among your allies. Whenever you and your allies finish a short rest, you and any ally that can hear you, implication being you're giving a rousing speech or telling a story to get the people relaxing or feeling committed to each other's camaraderie. When your allies finish that short rest, you and they, if they can hear you, they regain 1 spent hit die at the end of that short rest, even if they'd already spent it during that rest to gain a few hit points back. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Now, the caveat is, once you use encouraging banter, you got to take a long rest to regain a use of it, but that can still really help with some party medico-style situations, help balance out the party's health.
Yeah.
Now, 5th level, you get Improved Command. This lets you use the first level command talent as a bonus action, and you can still use it as an action too on that turn, effectively giving you 2 uses of command to say, fire to one guy and then to another guy, fire again. Because, again, each time it uses up someone's reaction for that round. But that's pretty good rate of fire for the party. This character might not hit terribly hard themselves, but they can really amp up. They can almost double the rate of fire for a general party group. I just realized I said general party. But level 7, that was an unintended dad joke. Level 7's Rousing Speech lets you, as an action, grant yourself and up to 6 allies that can hear you temporary hit points equal to your hero level plus your charisma modifier. Now, you're getting this at 7th level, and you're a charming hero. You're going to have at least a +1 charisma modifier, let's be honest here, if you're building a charming hero. you're going to be amping that up from the start with your best ability score, and with maybe some ability score increased feats throughout the game. So even if you're being moderate with that, you're gonna most people are gonna have at least a +2 to their charisma modifier by level 7, if not 3. You're getting anywhere from like 7 to 9, even maybe 10 temporary hit points to everybody in the group for one action. Now, this ability, this rousing speech, you can regain that when you finish a short or a long rest. Imagine, hey, end of short rest, every short rest, you're giving everybody 10 or more temporary hit points. That ain't half bad. And then we get to the capstone, level 9 talent. And this one does not have any cooldown. Much like the command and improve command, this is something always available to you. While you are conscious, you and each ally in 10 feet of you add your charisma modifier to all saving throws. That is some paladin level stuff here.
Yeah, hot damn.
I mean, this is the buff class so far that we've seen of the Charming Heroes. The Duelist and the Icon have some amazing stuff that they can do, and the leader really has its niche as the buff, the support, the let's give everyone else a little bit of the excellence of the Charming Hero. Because in the words of Bill and Ted, we're excellent! That was really bad. As I said it, I regret it. But in reality, I regret nothing.
It's the difference between a boss and a leader, man.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And the leader is all about pushing everybody in the party to do their best, to excel.
Yeah.
Losers always whine about their best.
But while the leader is the big buff, the big support, the other aspect of charisma can be really found in the manipulator class, and I believe that is where, Spectral, you're back in.
That's where I am back in. So, manipulator. I'm sure we know one of these in our lives. Now, they put it to pen and paper, created a class for it. People think you are charming, useful, and mostly harmless. That's exactly what you want people to think. In reality, you have everyone dancing on your strings to whatever tune you want to play for them.
Dance, my puppets, dance.
The manipulator focuses on weakening or controlling opponents in a fight and rarely makes attacks. With the right allies, these are powerful abilities. They also have the strongest set of social skills for any hero and shine in non-combat situations. So if you're not a combat monkey and you're more of a social player, this class is for you. Saving throws are wisdom and charisma. Well, that just makes sense. You choose 3 skills from deception, insight, intimidation, performance, persuasion, and sleight of hand. You get no equipment because you're not a combat monkey at all in any sense of the word.
You have people for that.
Yes. Social expertise. Choose 1 from deception, intimidation, and persuasion. You must be proficient in a skill to take expertise in that skill. Equipment recommendations are the Socialite Pack. Weapons, none or double barrel shotgun. Well, that escalated quickly.
Little old me? Where did you hide that?
You don't want to know. Did someone say prison wallet? I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing things.
Oh.
Talents for the manipulator. Demoralize. Copycat. Hypnotize. Improve demoralize. Man, they must be talking to my mother. False identity.
Ouch.
Social expertise. And master of manipulation at level 9. So demoralize. As an action, you can choose one opponent that can hear you. Not see you, hear you within 60 feet. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your trick DC. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and attack rolls against the target have advantage. This effect lasts until the end of your next turn.
That is terrifying. Holy mackerel.
The level 3 talent Copycat. You can perfectly mimic the voice of another person, as long as you have heard them speak for at least 1 minute. A successful wisdom insight check contested by your charisma deception check allows a listener to determine that the voice is fake.
Ooh.
Level 5 hypnotize. As you convince people to do almost anything. You can convince people to do almost anything. As an action, you suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two, and influence one person you can see that can hear and understand you. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the target to shoot itself, throw itself off a building, immolate itself, or do some other obviously harmful act ends the effect.
That's fair.
That is fair. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your trick DC. On a failed save, the target pursues the course of action you described to the best of their ability. The suggested course of action can continue for up to 8 hours.
Holy mackerel.
If the suggested activity can be completed in a shorter time, the effect ends when the subject finishes what it was asked to do. Now, I would make the person, travel 8 hours away.
Nice.
Because then they're going to come back 8 hours later and you're going to be gone.
Give them a hankering for Five Guys hamburgers.
Yes. You can specify conditions that will trigger a special activity during the duration. For example, you might suggest that a soldier give their gun to the first civilian they meet. If the condition isn't met before the effect ends, the activity isn't performed. If you or any of your companions damage the target, the effect ends. You cannot use this talent again until you finish a short or long rest.
That is very nice.
The second level 5 talent, Improve Demoralize. You can use your Demoralize ability as a bonus action. You can still use it as an action as well, allowing you to use it twice during your turn if you'd like.
Holy mackerel. Wow. That can KO some minions, and if you do that on the boss fight. Oof.
No, you could try it on the boss too. Maybe they roll a poor wisdom save.
True.
Let's see. False identity at level 7. You can create impeccable false identities for yourself and up to 6 allies. You must spend 7 days to establish the history, profession, and affiliation for these identities. You can't establish an identity that belongs to someone else. Thereafter, if any one of these allies adopts their new identity as a disguise, other people believe them to be that person until given an obvious reason not to. Social expertise. You gain expertise in deception, intimidation, or persuasion. You must be proficient in a skill to gain expertise in that skill.
Ooh.
And
Free expertise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the final, at level 9, Master of Manipulation. You always treat a roll of 9 or lower as a 10 on any charisma check you make.
Whoa.
That's dangerous. That's
very.
absolutely dangerous.
Oh, wow. This class really plays to its strengths beautifully. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great capstone. I don't think we've seen a capstone like that since Scoundrel and Agile Heroes. There was a similar thing with certain skills. Whoa. Yeah, there's definitely a kind of a yin-yang synergy going on with the manipulator and the leader there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one's the buffer, the other one is the debuffer.
I mean, if you have both of them in a party, that'd be pretty dangerous.
Now, there's some major RP shenanigans that can go on with that combination.
Oh, yes. Yes.
One of them comes off more like your best friend. The other one comes off like your ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Except you make them someone else's ex-girlfriend during the course of the.
That's like good cop, bad cop, right there.
Yeah.
I tell you. Oh boy. Whew. Yeah, this is a very fun set of different styles of play, all for the charming hero archetype.
Yeah.
And that's something we've seen throughout the other 5 archetypes. There's several different ways you can play to the strength of the archetype. It's not everybody has to do this, everybody has to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of flexibility, even if you were to have, say, 2 different duelists in a party. Based on the tricks everyone chooses as they level up, they could do very different types of things. And then, like you said, you add a manipulator and a leader in as a duo in any party, your social encounters are handled.
What if you had a party of just charming heroes?
Oh, dear sweet Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, it's like a party of bards.
Except the charming heroes aren't trying to seduce the dragon and everything that walks.
That's
Well, at
I
least
wouldn't
the
be
icon.
so sure about that between the icon and the manipulator.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, it's wonderful styles of charming hero play, and when we dive into the charming hero classes from the vault, they don't skimp on the charming heroes there either. I mean, I think in the core book only the charming hero and the smart hero got 4 subclasses, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just so much you can do with genius points and plans and with the various tricks and styles of the charming heroes.
Oh, absolutely.
And was that because the certain stretch goals that they hit?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think in fact I think the manipulator was a stretch goal.
Yeah.
I want to say it was the manipulator. I'd have to double check the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. It was that one and was it the hacker? I think those were the 2.
I believe
those were the
so.
first 2 stretch goals, but I don't remember what the stretch goal, what the following stretch goals were after.
I want to say I think the MMA fighter may have been a stretch goal.
You know, I had just had a thought. And you talk about the hacker. That's my second character.
Nice.
The character's name is Root. I am Root.
I am Root.
Yes, he is an early 20s hacker, and I think I'm going to have all my characters somehow related.
Oh, sweet.
So we have, Rhythm, who's my primary character, and once Eric starts working on the core stuff, our characters will be incorporated into the canon.
Nice.
But I think I'm going to have all my characters somehow related to each other, not necessarily familial, but there's some type of
connection.
Connection, 6 degrees of separation type of going on between all my characters.
That's what I like about games with like bonds or suggested party creation sessions that you can give them a reason to be working together. I know that you were mentioning like Hunter the Dark Ages. Like if you play a lot of the more recent World of Darkness and stuff, there is sometimes a built-in suggested situation of, hey, make a relationship map. How do these guys connect to each other? Why are they together? And I think in Everyday Heroes, there's if you look at the character sheet, there is a section for relationships, connections.
Yeah, that's on one of the extra pages. I actually, as a plug, Sig Trent's character sheets available on EGG, or no, it's definitely Sidekick and Drive Through.
Yeah.
That are class
Those
specific.
are really good. Yeah, I bought that through Sidekick.
Yes, archetype specific.
Those are really good.
I printed them out. I printed out 5 of the regular pages and then 5 of each copy because I have 5 people tomorrow and I don't know what they're going to choose. I just want to make sure I had enough that if everybody chose the same archetype, that I had enough of the pages.
Nice. Good planning. Because, you can absolutely have a party of a single archetype because the classes, they make them very unique.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd want 3 tough heroes or 3 strong heroes together I mean,
That might be a big game breaking, huh?
3 agile heroes would be, I think, is just as dangerous as the charming heroes.
I can definitely see that.
So, but I wanted to make sure I had, the upgraded character sheet. That's what we'll call them, the upgraded character sheet that Sig made. Because this way they'll have that extra page. But yeah, so when I was going through, there is a contacts page, a relationship page, in the basic character sheet too, like the 4 or 5 pages if you use all them. I don't. I printed them as, the main character sheet has 2 pages, one on either side, because, not everybody needed everything else just starting out.
Not everybody needed a headquarters and a vehicle, right?
Right, exactly. You don't, didn't need everything. Like, well, this is a little, having played D&D for a very long time and have characters that had like 6 or 8, 22 pages, not even that's backstory or anything. That's just, required pages to play. I don't like doing that to players if I can help that. So.
And that's a fair point. It makes it easier for the new folks to dive in that way.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Sig's sheet, you have the main one that he redid, and then like I think Agile Hero is the next one I printed. I just printed in the order of alphabetizing because that's how they printed. But it has like fast reflexes talent, and then quickness talent, and then it's got a whole talents and feats. It's got like that whole other page for it. So, it gives you the first couple things already on that sheet for whatever your archetype is, which I think will be a benefit for new players. Now, here's a question. Do you guys know if there is a comparative document that says, hey, this is D&D 5e or the OGL, and this is Everyday Heroes that has, like, these are the slight differences between them mechanics-wise? Do you know anything like that exists?
There was definitely something that Evil Genius put out, like with a little quick kind of conversion about reminding you what's different between the various parts.
I'm gonna have to check your website.
I distinctly remember that being. Let me check, because I want to say it's in the free rule starters.
Okay. Because I'd like to print that because like I said, I got 5 new people.
It's actually in the core book.
The core book. Okay.
Yeah, Appendix A, 5e changes, page 441.
441. Okay, I'll print that out. I'll print 5 copies of that out for my players tomorrow.
Yeah, it's when Dave and the team were structuring that core book, they put a lot of thought into this. Because it's the base rules are close enough to 5e that it's real simple for someone to jump into it from that system.
Right.
But there are some unique situations, like we talked about in earlier episodes, with defense, armor, classes, vehicles, and all, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
But the Appendix A gives a nice, concise listing of, okay, here's some differences so you don't get confused. Here's what skills are brand new. Here's what, like I said before, there's various other things.
Oh yeah, it's like 3 pages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll print out 5 copies of that, and then just like, here, this is, if you played 5e, this is, what the differences are and stuff like that. Let's see. I don't think. For those of you who backed the Armory, because of the delays they've experienced, if you have Sidekick, you were given, or I don't know if it applied to everyone who had it or people who didn't have it. They're going down the list and giving people a year free of Sidekick.
Whoa. That is very generous customer service.
It is. I don't know if you guys seen that on the Discord that Dave said they were doing that. I did get my upgrade, and now I have 37 tickets. Yes, 37 tickets.
Wowzers.
Because I've spent, 11 of the ones I had from paying for it back in February, just so I could be one of the first, one of the inaugural peoples in the month of February. Actually 28, because if you signed up in February, they give you 4 extra tickets. So I spent 15 tickets. Now I have 37. And then
Woo!
I backed the Return of the Living Dead
Mm-hmm.
at a level that's going to get me another year.
Sweet.
So, let's see. This is as of right now. Once that kicks in, I don't think I'll have to. Let's see. This year, 25 to 26, 26 to 7. 27. Yeah, I won't have to pay for it again until 2028.
Good pun with Sidekick, by the way, when it kicks in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you are not on Sidekick, our listeners out there, I would highly recommend it. It's $48 for the year or $5 a month. They give you 2 tickets a month, which is about a $10 value that you can buy the product. And every month they're coming out with new mini settings and an adventure to go with that mini setting. For August, it was the Wild West.
Loving that, by the way. There's shootout dueling rules between the literal white hats and black hats. In fact, there's actually feats called that for reputation type stuff. And a brand new charming hero class revolving around the gunfighter.
Yep.
It is to ranged firearms what the duelist is to finesse melee.
Now, what I'd like to add is when they come out with these adventures, they are ego playable.
Woohoo!
So, as I said last weekend, for my first group, I'm out of content for season 1. I mean, I have to run plot 3, but that's 2 hours. I can't make people show up for 2 hours. So I ran Twin Fates, and that was I think that came out last month or 2 months ago. And that was a very interesting one. My player Beefcake, I picked things up and put them down. The player for Beefcake was like, he's like, I really enjoyed this adventure. You're really doing a good job, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow, like someone thank, like I get, thanks for running, blah blah blah. But he actually kind of like, I'm very enjoying this. So I am happy I got that compliment. So. But yes, Twin Fates is a very interesting adventure. If you haven't read it, I don't want to give any spoilers.
Fair.
Because but you should know how to duel. I mean, you don't have to know how to duel. They do take care of that. It's explained in the adventure, but I'm liking the content that they're coming out with. The content I'm looking for is not out till later this year. Because Dave did a poll on the Discord. I am looking for the Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
That the content that they're going to put out, and there was another one that I'm not remembering right now. But it's like the ones I voted for. I don't know if it was Pirates. I don't know if it was the Pirates. But it was another one. But more content is coming out for Sidekick every month. The snackables, as they called it, whatever. It's good content. It's very well done. I get the mini, I get the mini settings every month. I could pick up the adventure of my tickets. Settings. I know they're great. I would love, and with those mini settings, I think, like I said, the adventures for them are ego playable. So I can't wait for them to delve more into that and hopefully bring some more of that into the ego for like the non-story arc for the season stuff. But I believe all those adventures this year are now ego playable.
Sweet.
As a GM, you might have to finagle a little bit for the to how Walt calls you to give you the assignment or whatever, or like the reason you're doing it. I'm hoping they'll backtrack that a little bit and add that in on Sidekick, because then it's very easy for them to edit and just like publish. So that's why I just wanted to bring that up. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
Honestly, I think you got the long and the short of it.
All right.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited to see the cyberpunk stuff that's going to be coming out as one of the mini settings on Sidekick. There's also going to be kind of a steampunk Victorian era one that I'm thinking, ooh, I want to dig my hands into that, see what's going on there.
Those are
So
all certainly great choices too. They did come out with a like a Jurassic Park
That one
dinosaur
was a
hunt
lot of
one.
fun. Yeah.
I liked the book. I'm hoping that they fixed the bug with that one.
Hmm.
you
I'm,
still can't download it?
I spent a ticket and it's still, and I had it downloaded, and then I went to go look back at it, and it's not in my library anymore.
Oh.
Did you send an email to
I
Haley?
sent multiple tickets in. Yeah, he's
Okay.
working on it. So,
Okay.
if that's a cause for anybody else. Dave is working on it himself personally. He's said it in the Discord that
Yeah,
he is
he's
working
very
on it.
responsive. Yeah.
Yeah.
One other tidbit. They are working on a second printing of the core rulebook.
Oh. Oh, that's awesome.
And so he is having some bug squashing going on, like $1 a bug, in product or tickets or something like that.
Cool.
If you find a bug in the main PDF or main core rulebook, just go onto the site and hit the bug thing and put out where it is and what it is, and so they can, like, any typos, any
And the bug
anything like
hunts.
that.
The bug hunt site is the sidekick,
I think
or is it?
it might just be Evil Genius Games.
Ah, okay, the main website.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
it's the main website, and I think there's a little bug somewhere on there on the side
Okay,
menu that
bug
you can
hunt.
click. Yeah.
Oh.
I do enjoy hunting for bugs in the RPG sense.
And
Yeah.
Cool.
I did have another thought.
Speaking of core rulebooks, right now, currently on Amazon, you can get the special edition cover, the D20 Modern Homage cover, for like $15.
$14.99. Yep.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. It's
Still.
$14.99 plus tax because Amazon and
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah.
I actually picked up 2 of them. After Bro said that, oh, well, this one came in damaged, and I'm like, all right, I'll order one, $15. What the hell? Came
Yeah.
in perfectly fine.
15.
Ordered a second one.
Whoa.
There's like a little minuscule damage to it. I'm like, that's just basic, that's
That's a little
aluminum
wear and tear.
plastic. Yeah, so
Right.
I picked up 2 of them. I'm like, for $15, why not? I mean, I might pick up another. I don't know. It's $15. I'm just gonna start handing them out at Christmas. I have no idea.
I might go on
Yeah.
Amazon. I might go on Amazon and use up the last of the gift cards right now.
Oh, it's worth it. I mean, absolutely, man. Yeah, my copy came in damaged. And it was definitely during manufacturing because the plastic saran wrap around it wasn't damaged of any kind. It was just the book. There's a nice size puncture in the spine on the cover, and a couple of dents
My
here and
stars.
there. But for the most part, I mean, I'm still happy with it. I mean, $15 is
Right. You got
heck
it.
of a doggone
You
deal.
got it at like a fifth of the price. Isn't it like normally like 75 or 70 or something like that, or 80? I mean, you got it at such a huge discount. That's why I bought 2. Like I said, I mean, if they're still there, I might buy a couple more and give them out as Christmas presents.
I mean, and my first copy, with the regular cover, it's seen some wear and tear, and so I'm probably going to pass this off to a friend of mine, because he doesn't have a copy of it at all. So I'm just going to pass this one off and keep the D20 Modern Homage cover for myself.
Yeah, I ended up buying another copy of the core rulebook for my local game store that I run at because the Kickstarter one was kind of getting a little worn, and I'm like, I want to keep this, and I just bought another one, and that was like 6-8 months ago that I did that. But for $15, get it, and they always have 19 left. Whenever I look, it's 19 left. So I don't know, but like I said, I get paid Wednesday night, so I might just buy a couple more next week and be like, oh, I'm just going to give these as Christmas presents. So
my wife is going to kill me if I buy any more books, though. I just broke a bookshelf because I had too many books on it.
Well, that means you're living right.
Right. And so I had two bookshelves out in my shed. So I pulled one out and built that one. So that's in my daughter's room. So a lot of my displaced books are in there, but I still have a lot sitting on a couch. I got to find a home for.
So last time my dad was up, he's coming up every, 6 to 8 weeks, help me out with some projects around the house, and he
Yeah.
got me a metal shelf from like Walmart, you know, and I put that together. And right now, it's on my enclosed front porch, but I have a lot of my role playing books on there. Not all of them because I still need more space, but he picked up a couple of bookshelves for me from Facebook Marketplace, and he's bringing them up when he comes up next month. So I'm gonna be able to clear all that shelving, and then put all the books on bookshelves that should be there, and then it'll look much nicer than having them on that wire rack, and I can use that for other stuff.
Right.
I have to get going in about a few minutes, so you can edit that out. But I do want to bring up one off-topic thing, since we are talking about games, and there is a Kickstarter that is currently active, and bro, I assume this is going to be going up within the next couple of days.
Yeah.
It's called Delve Third Edition, DELVE. It is done by an indie game creator under the company name Broken Rat Games. So you can search for it on Kickstarter. It's very reasonably priced, whether you want the PDF or if you want the print on demand. Basically what he does is it's through Drive-Thru RPG. Print on demand is the actual cost to print, and then plus whatever shipping is at that backing level, which I did, which I think is around $35 US because he's based in the UK. I think the PDF is like $15. It's worth checking out. Like I said, if you go to Kickstarter, search Broken Rat Games or Delve Third Edition, basically, you are shipwrecked on an island. You're a castaway, and you must explore the island and try and get off. And I said to the creator, I said, hey, it's kind of like Gilligan's Island. He's like, I've never seen Gilligan's Island, but kind of sort of because I know about it. I'm like, interesting. So, so if you guys are interested in being a castaway on an island, with a huge island, mind you, plenty to explore and adventure. I believe it's a D100 system. So I would check that out. It goes on, I think we're down to 16 days, 17 days. Let me check the Kickstarter. 17 days to go. It is $400 from making the goal, and it's only been 4 days. So
Wow.
yes, yeah. So it's 77 people, 77 backers. With 17 days left, and currently it's $36.64 out of its $4,064 goal in US dollars. So, if that sounds something interesting to you, check it out. This guy is a one-man band for all his products. He has other products out there on Drive-Thru RPG. Search Broken Rat Games, and I would check it out. I like to support him as he is an indie developer. Like, Sig Trent is now an indie developer, and how all these guys and women that work for EGG might have been at one point. So, support your local developers, your indie developers, if you like the concept of the game.
Sweet.
And that's me going off topic, but this is the only platform I really have that I can, get this out to some listeners that might be interested.
Well, it's always good to support the local and indie gamer productions, yeah?
Yep. Well, local, I mean, we could, an ocean away, but still.
Well,
I said
but
that.
in this digital age,
Yes,
everybody's local, right?
That is true. So with that, unless you guys have anything else you want to add?
No.
Only other thing I can think of is another 5th edition compatible RPG is getting ready to hit Kickstarter as well.
Oh yes. Go ahead. Is that by Brian C.P. Steele?
I can't remember who is writing it. But I'll give you it's starts with Thunder. Thundercats.
Yes!
Oh, I can't wait. That is so cool.
Eye of Thundera, give me sight beyond sight.
Yes, I saw Brian C.P. Steele's post that in the EGG Discord. And as I said, I will be backing it.
Same.
So,
When I first joined the EGG Discord,
I can eat ramen for a
posted-
couple of weeks. I'll go for it.
Oh, I know. I can't wait. Yeah, I remember when I first posted, I was like, "What about Saturday morning cartoons? And not just movies, but..." And so I threw down Thundercats, and somebody was like, "Thundercats, that can't work." And here we are, 2025.
Hear the
We got
roar,
a Thundercats
Thundercats
game
are
coming.
loose.
I can't wait.
if there's a will, there's a way. Well, I'm now going to be waiting for that because I'll back that. God,
Yeah.
I got to make sure I don't turn into the habit again here. Catalyst Game Labs is working on Voltron.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So that funded in December, so they're working on that. That's progressing. So they should be having an update out, within the next 2 weeks for the August. And I know
Sweet.
NBC approved Legendary Defender, so we were just waiting to hear on
Oh.
Defender of the Universe.
Nice.
So, and in fact, they just locked everything down with add-ons and stuff. So I spent an extra 55 hours on Dice and Dice Tray.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I'm like I'm thankful it was add-ons and not at the time of the pledge, because I could pay for the pledge when that ended, and then I can add this on later when I can afford it again. But I think it was $40 for the dice, but they're metal, and I think it was like $10. No, it was a bag. It wasn't a dice tray; it was a bag. It was like $10, I think, for the bag. But they were Voltron dice, and how do I not get them? And I just
That is the question.
So we got to keep an eye out on other childhood-related shows or movies coming and becoming games, because where's He-Man and Masters of the Universe? You know what, Dave? They're coming out with a new movie. How about that? Let's get the rights to that. Let's make some Masters of the Universe in Everyday Heroes.
I have the power.
That's a cinematic universe. And I want to mention Stargate, since Amazon now owns the MGM library and Wyvern Games one is kind of dead. So Dave, how about Stargate too? Let's do the show. Let's do SG1 again. Maybe Atlantis. Because this was a great setting to do Stargate.
And the stuff in the vault, especially the mutations and the cybernetics, that would give a really great baseline for making some of those other species they come across in Stargate, as would a lot of the stuff we're going to get on Intergalactic Heroes. That's not too far from reality now, is it?
It's next year.
Okay.
I think because I asked Dave about that in the Discord. I don't know if it was quarter 1 or quarter 2. I don't remember what his answer was, but
that's awesome.
But we will have the Armory. That is next up. Then Intergalactic Heroes early next year, hopefully, and then let's see what other, and then I think hopefully Everyday Arcana next year.
That's what
I'm waiting for.
I'm really waiting for Everyday. I love Intergalactic Heroes. I'm loving the beta stuff that we've had access to in Sidekick. Really loving it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm using a lot of it for making Guardians of the Galaxy characters. But I really want to get my hands on Everyday Arcana so I can finish my Thor build and tweak up my Scarlet Witch build.
I want Everyday Arcana so I can do my Constantine build.
Constantine!
Mine! Dibs!
Okay, fair. I leave it to you.
He's good. Obviously, he's got to be a smart hero.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a grand. You think an Arcanist?
Yeah, I want to see what they come out as far as classes before I.
Oh yeah, I know that they have said what classes per archetype. They have 3 per archetype that have been discussed in the Facebook posts or in the Discord posts. I think I made a compilation Google Doc.
Oh.
That I think that's actually
if you could share that in our Discord.
Sure, absolutely, and I think it's pinned in the Evil Genius Discord too. But I will send you guys the link on that so you can pin it up to our Discord.
All right, not to cut this short, but I.
Oh yeah, you got to hustle.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
So, with that, we thank everybody for joining us. Bro will be doing some edits.
Yep.
And we hope to get the next show out to you fairly soon for the Charming Heroes from the Vault. and then following up at the end of season 1 of Redemption HQ with the tricks for the Charming Heroes. And then we will be back with season 2 and new episodes and, hopefully some interviews and, discuss some of the sidekick content a little bit more in depth. And we'll go from there. We'll figure it out. But thank you for joining us. I'm Spectral Force. I'm here with Robert D., Robarian. You guys, any last words for the show?
May all your 20s be natural.
And thank you for backing the Return of the Living Dead.
Absolutely.